What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for Aquaman. Man. Now, like always, guys, now you guys know I am always been more of a Marvel guy myself, but you guys know I am a huge fan and I do love the DCEU, which, well, now it's the world's DC. But I'm still considering this, Shazam, and Wonder Woman 84 all DCEU because they were all made when the DCEU was still a thing. So after those three, then I'll call it the worlds of DC. But this is still a DCEU movie in my book. And you guys know, I know fuck all about Aquaman. You guys know that I'm not really a big fan of Aquaman. I was definitely one of those people back in the day before, his appearance in Justice League, the movie, where I was like, oh yeah, Aquaman's stupid. He's, a stupid hero. All he does is talk to fish. He ain't cool. He's stupid. I was part of them. And then when I saw Justice League, I was like, alright, Aquaman's kind of cool, with Jason Momoa. But after this movie, Aquaman's fucking awesome, man. Like, you guys know, if you follow me on Twitter, I was tweeting a lot. About this movie and how much I love Aquaman now, how much I love Black Manta. But anyway, so what do I think about this movie in general? I fucking love this movie. I feel that this movie honestly is probably like my new favorite DCEU movie. Now we got that stuff. Well, of course, explain about that, but me personally, I think I definitely did like this more than I did Wonder Woman and Man of Steel. I'll get into it, but this movie was just fucking awesome. So anyway, so let's get into it. So the movie is directed by James Wan, which you guys may know is mostly responsible for horror movies, like he did Saw 1, he's done the Conjuring movies, he did the Insidious movies, but like the dude's mainly known for his horror movies. He also did do Furious 7 as well. And the cast includes my man, Jason Momoa. And anyway, I gotta say something about Jason Momoa real quick. So, right before I started recording for this review, I was on Twitter. Just kind of like, well, I wasn't on Twitter. I was like just looking around stuff for Aquaman on the movie, just like looking around. And then I found this like video, like this article of this dude that posted like this tweet on Twitter of Jason Momoa like actually having Henry Cavill's back because apparently like he was at some god. And this like some dude like a yellow samurai outfit, I think it was, he was like yellow something. And the dude said like, oh, I don't like Henry Cavill's Superman performance. And behind man, Jason Momoa comes out there and he's like, oh yeah, the dude's asking, like the dude that's kind of question, he was asking the question, but he's like, wait, before I get to your question, to the dude over there, the yellow samurai shirt, why don't you like Henry Cavill's performance of Superman? And then the dude really gets up from his seat and he's like, no, say what you gotta say, man. You got a problem, my boy? Like when Jason Momoa started getting confrontation a little, got out of his seat, like, nah, man, come on, man, tell me what you want to say. And he's like, you got a problem, my boy? I was like, I was laughing like crazy. I was like, that's a real one right there. Our boy Jason Momoa got Henry Cavill's back. Hell yeah. That tweet was awesome. You guys follow me on Twitter. I retweeted the shit out of that. Man, I love that. That tweet, that was just so awesome. I love, like, Jason Momoa is now 20 times as cooler now. After he's over there, he got Henry Cavill's back supporting him. He's like, nah, man, what you say about my boy Henry Cavill? And he also said that Henry Cavill is indeed still being Superman. Thank God. Now, if we can get a straight answer out of Ben Affleck, we'll be good. So, our boy Jason Momoa's Aquaman. We got Amber Heard as Mera. Ooh, I got something to say about Mera. Patrick Willis as Ocean Master. Oh, Ocean Master. Nicholas Kidman, Yahya Abdul Mateen II. I think that's how you pronounce him, although I probably butcher the shit out of that. William Dafoe, of course, and many more. So the plot of the movie is that after the events of Justice League, which now this movie is pretty much very much kind of like Ant-Man, where it's like it takes place at like Age of Ultron, but it's pretty much self-contained. This one is the same thing here, where even in the post-credit scene, they don't set up anything future with DCEU. They don't set up like Justice League 2 or like I don't know Man of Steel 2 or really anything, or Shazam 2, Wonder Woman 2. None of it. It just sets up its own sequel, which I liked, and I'll get to that in a second. But so after the events of Justice League, now like I said, this movie is pretty much okay, but they do mention Justice League here and there. They really don't mention it too much. They say like, oh yeah, you defeated Steppenwolf, and that's about it. They never really there's never really any much. Well, granted, there wasn't really that much for Aquaman and Justice League, so but they do mention it a couple times in Justice League, so about Justice League, so I did like that. I was glad they did that, and also the runtime is 2 hours and 22 minutes, so thank God. So I'm glad that Warner Bros. Didn't come in there with a chainsaw to the runtime like they did with Justice League. Anyway, and so now. The Ocean Master, the dude, is like, the king of Atlantis. He's getting sick and tired of us land dwellers, of us surface people, of how we treat the environment, and he wants to wage war. So Marla comes in there, yo, Jason Momoa, Aquaman, we need your help here. We need you to get the Master Trident, whatever the Trident was called, to so you can become king and save the world and save the sea world and the human world and bring us together and shit. I know that something was fucking terrible, but yeah, that's pretty much what it is. He's pretty much like he wants Ocean Master wants to take over, invade the land, invade the surface world, and Aquaman has to stop. Pretty simple plot. Now let's get into pros. Like I said, Jason Momoa, fucking love him. He was amazing in Justice League, and he was amazing here too. I loved him a lot more. We get to see a lot more of just his overall, his charisma. Jason Momoa in this movie was just awesome. But now let's talk about Mera. Oh, did I love Mera? This woman was fucking badass. I love this scene when we see her using doing the stuff with water, she's over the air pockets are using wide to kill these Atlantean soldiers, and hot damn, is this woman fucking hot. And you guys know that I got a thing for redheads, and her hair, I know that red hair is super unrealistic, nobody has hair that red. Or, cause that's like Ariel red hair. But your boy loved it, so, happy hour was gonna be interesting tonight. but all seriousness, Mera, loved her. She was amazing. Her overall delivery, I've seen some people review, Aaron Jones review, he said her delivery was kind of off. Me personally, I think she did a decent job for what she did, and she did a great job looking badass in the fight scenes, and just I love the parts where she actually used her her water abilities, maneuvering the water, doing some water bending, the stuff with the wine, this time they were in Italy, and just all the overtimes where you just see her using the water. It's just so cool. But without William Dafoe, he was pretty good in all honesty. He doesn't really do much in all honesty. Just here's some training sequence, here's some training montages when I was training Aquaman when he was back in his younger days. But he doesn't really serve that much plot. But William Dafoe does a great job, being William Dafoe. But Black Manta, oh my god, did I love Black Manta in this movie. Black Manta was fucking awesome, man. Now, me personally, I loved Black Manta. But for some reason, my parents and my brother were like, oh, he was too corny. Oh, he was too over top. I'm like, what are y'all fucking smoking over there? Black Manta was awesome. I loved his suit design. I just love the suit design. The guy that plays him did an amazing job. I am now a Black Manta fan. I love Black Manta now. I low-key almost want to start reading Aquaman comics just so I can see more of Black Manta. Black Manta easily has now become one of my favorite DC villains of all time, and he's only my second favorite villain we've gotten in the DCU. Although, granted, when your competition is Steppenwolf, the dude, what was his name, Ares from Wonder Woman, and Lex Luthor as Jesse Eisenberg, that isn't really saying much because all the real competition is Zod from Man of Steel, which I still say Zod is definitely my favorite villain in the DCEU, but Black Manta is now second place. I loved Black Manta. So badass. I love Black Manta. Which brings us to another thing I loved about the movie was definitely the CGI. By God, the CGI. This would better win an Oscar for visual effects. Well, the visual effects in Avengers: Infinity War with the mocap they did for Thanos was awesome. DC got you beat over there. DC got you beat, Disney, with the CGI with the water. I love the way they use the water. Like I said, I told you I loved when Mera was using the water to prevent doing that water bending stuff. It looked badass. She was badass. I loved it. But when we see the underwater battles, or when we see them using the water while they're on land in the battles, I loved it. It was amazing. Another thing I loved was the action scenes. By God, James Wan, why don't you direct more action movies? Why do you only direct horror movies? Now, I haven't seen The Conjuring, so I can't really say, I saw Furious 7, I love that movie. but this man needs to start to write the action. It's like, Marvel, hire this man, have him work on like the Fantastic Four or something. Because, oh my god, the action, like, oh my god. This has some of the best action sequences I've ever seen in any movie. Marvel, DC, any action movie, I love them. Like, I love the shots, how they do it. Like, they're never use shake cam, they're never too close, they're always there, and you always see everything. And it's not like they do kind of cuts. It's always just one static shot, or one moving camera angle shot, like you see, fights going on, like, right there, then you kind of move into an aerial view, over the top view. It all blends in seamlessly and transitions beautifully. It's amazing. And my god, the use of slow motion. This is the best use of slow motion I've ever seen in a movie, period. Now, because, like, I'm a fan. I like slow motion when it's used properly. I like slow motion. Who doesn't like seeing some stuff in slow-mo? But this is the only time where I see slow motion actually enhance the fights. Because when I saw the slow motion used in this movie, by god, I was like, this is the greatest use of slow motion I've ever seen. I like slow motion, but man, James Wan, did you use slow motion to your absolute advantage? And I loved it. Like, this man needs to direct more action movies. Someone give him another superhero movie to work on, please. He just did an amazing job with the action sequences. Like I said, the use of slow motion was amazing. The CGI was amazing. Everything about this movie was fucking phenomenal. Well, not everything. So let us move into the cons I have for this movie. First off is Black Manta. Now, like I said, I love Black Manta, but he's not in the movie enough. Now it's kind of like now what this movie kind of has is it's like they were trying to this movie felt like they were trying to shove as much as they could in it, because they were probably like, James Wan was probably like, okay, we are doing an Aquaman movie. Who the fuck gives a shit about Aquaman other than maybe a few people? People give a shit a little bit more since Justice League, but still nobody's gonna go to this. Is gonna be rushing to the theaters to see this movie. This isn't Batman v Superman, so. Let's throw everything in the kitchen sink in there. So let's throw everything in the kitchen sink in this movie, and that's what they do. It's all balls to wall things. Like another I love movies that this movie goes with the goofiness. It's not all seriousness. And oh my god, there was this one scene I love. Okay, in the ending, there's this the final fight scene where Aquaman is facing off against the Ocean Master. I'm not gonna get too deep, but oh my god, that whole action sequence, and I love because they get it back on land, they're fighting on land, and it's dark, it's stormy, but the way their suits just vibe, the colors of their suits just the contrast between their suits and the drab background was so beautiful. The cinematography of the movie was fucking amazing. I love how the way the colors just kind of popped in the darkness, how they still kind of had this glow to them. It looks so cool. And also, you guys need to see this movie in IMAX, because I saw this movie in IMAX, and by God, was it amazing. Now, there was one thing I didn't like about when I saw this movie in IMAX. It was very distracting, but I'll get to that a little bit later. So, like I said, with Black Manta, I loved him, but he's just not in the movie enough. Like I said, this was definitely... I feel like what they should have done is save Black Manta for the sequel, and just solely focus on the Ocean Master for this one, because that's pretty much what the main focus of the movie is. Ocean Master with Aquaman Aquaman trying to stop him. They really never, or with Arthur trying to stop him. They never really delved. Black Manta is more or less like a side plot, or a side plot point. It's just a side thing. It's not really subplot. That was the word I was looking for. It's a subplot. It's not really the main focus movie. And Black Manta is only really in the beginning, and there's one section of the movie where they're in Italy. That's it. And it has a couple extra scenes here and there, but after that, he's kind of gone. So, I would have liked to see a lot more of him, and hopefully we do get that in the sequel. Which I hope to God this movie... I look like this movie will get a sequel, because I've heard great things about it in the box office. It's doing phenomenal in China, which I'm glad to see, because you guys need to see this movie. It's fucking awesome. And so that's one thing I didn't like. I wish there was more Black Manta in the movie, but we'll probably get that in the sequel. Another thing I will definitely say I had a problem with, or wasn't, was kind of like the relationship between Arthur and Mara. Because they're setting up this her love interest, and they set up this love story between, this romance. That was the word, the romance for these two, and they don't really delve that too much into it. This movie should have focused. I definitely say this movie should have focused more on character development, because there aren't really that many scenes where you can really see them generally start to like each other. It's kind of bam, here, okay, they're together now. they really don't have those scenes where you can generally see them kind of starting to like warm up to each other, get to know each other, and they start like having feelings for each other. We never really got that much of it, so which I would have liked to see more of. Focus a little bit more on the characters, especially just expand the romance a little bit more, give us more segments with just those two alone, and just make the romance team a little bit more believable. It's not like Attack of the Clones bad with that god awful dialogue, but I wish they delved a little bit more of it and gave them more time to shine, just more time to breathe, and more time to just develop that. That's another thing I didn't like. Another thing with this one, I feel like this is more like a me problem, but Aquaman wearing the suit that's out of the comics. Okay, I understand from the comics, and I bet the Aquaman fans were losing their shit when they saw it in the trailers, but me, it just doesn't look that good on Jason Momoa, man. Like, I feel like it's just because that suit is so Aquaman from the comics, and Aquaman in the comics is so radically different from Aquaman the DCU, because, in the comics he's a white dude, a blonde white dude, while here he's like Samoan. I'm pretty sure Jason Momoa is Samoan, and, he's played by a Samoan guy, so I don't know if it just can't take that away from him, but the suit just doesn't look that good on him. I mean, the suit doesn't look terrible on him, but it just doesn't look right. I don't know if it's just the design of it, because it looks so much like the comics, because I feel like the armor he had in Justice League suited him a lot more than just him just put on the traditional. I mean, it still kind of looks cool seeing the suit from the comics in live action. Kind of like, I love the way they do kind of armory. Now for Ocean Master, his suit looks amazing. I love the way the Ocean Master. It's classic and it definitely looks kind of stupid, but that's kind of what Aquaman is. And like, I love there's and for God's sake, there's a scene where they're in the Ring of Fire, where the first battle between Arthur and Ocean Master, there's an octopus playing the drums. There's an octopus playing the drums. I love that scene. That was amazing. And Arthur is getting booed like he's Roman Reigns right after on the Raw right after WrestleMania 33. I mean, in all honesty, low-key, Jason Momoa does low-key kind of look like Roman a little bit, but yeah, like I wish they were focused more. And like his suit, we see him wearing his suit, which I'm assuming the suit he's wearing in the movies, in the movie and around the end of the movie, is the suit he does wear in the comics. It looks great on him, but for some reason, I don't know what's about Jason Momoa wearing the classic Aquaman suit. It just doesn't look right on him. I don't know if that's me, if any of you guys feel the same. I don't know, but that's kind of it. Also, when I saw the movie in IMAX, the whole section when they're in Italy, it wasn't filmed with IMAX cameras, which means the aspect ratio is different, and by God, was it so distracting for me. I was trying to enjoy the movie, but I'm like, can you guys go back to IMAX? Like, I'm surprised they shot that whole scene in IMAX. Like, I mean, they don't really have the excuse that you can't film the whole movie in IMAX, because, Avengers Infinity War was completely filmed in IMAX cameras, but that probably might have had a bigger budget. I don't know, but that part, like, that whole segment, I felt it should have been filmed in IMAX, or at least they should have done a better job with the aspect ratio change, so it's not as distracting, because, like, it's so distracting, because, IMAX have those pretty big screens, so when there's, like, massive sidebars on the top of the bottom, they're kind of a lot more distracting and noticeable than when you're watching it's like on a normal movie theater. So, but that's not really a flaw I'm holding against the movie, that's just kind of something I just noticed. I was just like, oh, that's kind of distracting. Another thing I love this movie about was definitely the music. The music in this movie was fucking amazing. Loved it. And I love the whole scene where we see Black Manta getting his suit together soon. That was also pretty good. So, yeah, that's about it I gotta say for this movie. Once again, like I said, love this movie. It's definitely my favorite DCEU movie. I can't wait to see it. And, yeah. I'm not going to do a spoiler section for this one because there's not really too much I could really, well, there's actually a little bit. You know what? Let me do a spoiler section right now, actually. And also one thing I also like how they kind of just like brush past Aquaman's backstory. They didn't focus too much on that. You're like, okay, here's a gist. Okay, let's get to the good shit. I like that. I like that they didn't focus too much on his backstory. That was cool. Oh, and actually, right before we leave, my final verdict is 10 out of 10. So let's get to the spoiler section in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So, okay. So they kind of do like the Ant-Man, the Wasp thing, where we find out that Aquaman's mother is still alive, because they say like, she was executed because she had like, was married because she she gave birth. He had a son that was from from the surface world. So she ended up getting executed. We find that she's still alive. She's on like the surface. She's like in the core. In the core of the earth, where somehow dinosaurs are still around. We see velociraptors and like those flying dinosaurs up in the sky. Yeah, it was kind of weird. I was like, wait, what? Why are there dinosaurs here? I like the suit she had. The moment between them, I think it was good, but I felt it could have been better. Like, I didn't really get as much motion as I probably should have gotten for that scene. It definitely wasn't like when Ant-Man the Wasp, when it happened in Ant-Man and the Wasp. That I think got a lot more emotion out of me. And I kind of the stuff with Black Manta, where we see him like the stuff with his father, was interesting. Where like the dude is like trying to kill Black Manta's father is trying to kill Aquaman, and once he like fails and like ends up getting pinned down by like I think it was like a missile under him, and Black Manta like you gotta help me, please help me. He's like, you're pirates. Shame on you for how you raise your kid. Ask the sea for mercy. My dad just said no, he should have saved him. He should have saved his father, but nah. But the scene that I love the most, and this is kind of why I say I liked it more than Man of Steel and Justice League, because this movie is essentially Lord of the Rings or Star Wars underwater. And so in the finale movie, when Aquaman gets his new suit, he gets a new trident and everything, we just see him and he's like, talking to all these fish, and they're just charging, and they're just charging against the sea, the ocean's master. They're going at it, and oh my god, it was this whole scene with that. Like, this is what I was like, yes, this is better than Aquaman, or this is better than Wonder Woman, this is better than Man of Steel. Was that whole final battle between the scene where Aquaman's doing like the little twirl thing that Willem Dafoe kind of taught him, but didn't really, just showed it to him. That was cool, and just that whole finale, that whole final fight with between the Ocean's Master, like he's on like this giant whale, and the scene before that where they're faced off against these crabs. I don't know I forget the exact term these guys are called, but I also like the stuff when they were going to the trench. The King Trench was like, dog, these creatures like from the trench look like the creature from the Black Lagoon. So I was like, these guys look like the creature from the Black Lagoon. That whole scene where we just see like when they get underwater and there's just hundreds and hundreds of guys, and all the Aquaman got you these like flares, and you just see like them all coming through them. Like you're like, Jesus H Christ, what the hell is going on? Like, can they get out? Like, there's so fucking many. All the underwater battles we got in the movie were all amazing. Except the final one was probably like my personal favorite, just because Aquaman's and just like Aquaman got the Master Trident. Everything's going crazy. You got Mara helping out and everything. It was just balls to the wall insanity, and that I just felt like that is why I liked it a little bit more. That's why I kind of liked it more. Wonder Woman. Well, Wonder Woman had the scene of No Man's Land. It was awesome, but the final act I just wasn't a fan. I liked it, but Ares just Man of Steel, that was just complete insanity. But I like this more just because I think it's more like the visual aspect, because like the amount of time and money took for them to do this must have been ridiculous. And the de-aging CGI on Willem Dafoe was also pretty good. It wasn't like, it's not as good as the de-aging CGI that we see in the trailers of Captain Marvel with Samuel L. motherfucking Jackson, but it's better than that mustache shapes they were trying to do in Justice League. That was just ugh. This one is at least better. It's not as good as Justice League, not Justice League, as Captain Marvel, but it's better than what they tried to do with trying to remove Henry Cavill's mustache in Justice League. So yeah, that's all I gotta say on the movie, guys. Like I said before, you guys should definitely go see if you're a fan of Aquaman. You should definitely go see if you're a DC fan. If you're not a fan of Aquaman, definitely go check this out. Just expect to see pretty much a silly movie, and that knows it's silly and it's just fucking balls to wall sanity. You will love this. So hope you all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you're links in the description box below. As always, come back for more. See you guys next time.